Imagine a state sold to you as a paradise, a beacon of progress and prosperity, only to wake up each morning to a reality that feels more like a dystopian novel. Your bills pile up, your streets feel less safe, and your dreams of opportunity seem to slip further away with every passing day. This is the story of California under Governor Gavin Newsom, a man whose polished image and lofty promises are crumbling under the weight of his own failures. Today, we're diving into a tale of political missteps, a stark contrast in leadership styles, and a growing call for accountability that could change the course of American politics. Buckle up, because this is a story you won't want to miss. A 12-minute journey into the heart of what's going wrong and who's stepping up to make things right. I'm Matt, coming to you from the Zone Media Network, where we break down the real stories behind the headlines, covering American and Canadian news with unfiltered clarity. Make sure to like and subscribe to support our work, and check out our Canadian Zone channel for the latest north of the border. Now, let's get to it. California, once the golden dream of America, is facing a crisis that's impossible to ignore. Crime rates are climbing, with violent incidents in cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco up by double digits since 2020, according to the California Department of Justice. Homelessness has exploded, with over 180,000 people living on the streets in 2024, a 50% increase in just 5 years, per HUD's annual homeless assessment report. Housing costs are suffocating. Median home prices in the state hover around $850,000, pricing out all but the wealthiest. And taxes. California's income tax tops out at 13.3%, the highest in the nation, while gas taxes add over 60 cents per gallon, hitting families where it hurts most. Yet, amidst this chaos, Governor Gavin Newsom seems more focused on his next big political move than on fixing the state he swore to serve. His approval ratings, now languishing in the low 20s according to recent Rasmussen Reports polls, tell a story of a leader disconnected from the people he claims to represent. It's not just a state in trouble, it's a state crying out for leadership that Newsom seems unwilling or unable to provide. While California burns, Newsom's busy playing a different game, the social media spotlight. He's taken a page from Donald Trump's playbook, flooding X with brash tweets, personal attacks, and a flair for drama that might make for good entertainment but falls flat when it comes to governance. Recently, he called out Fox News host Dana Perino, branding her a ratings loser while crowning himself the ratings king. He took aim at Kid Rock, as if that's a pressing issue for Californians struggling to pay rent. And in a bizarre move, he targeted Greg Gutfeld, mocking his laugh and calling him a garbage man. These aren't the actions of a governor focused on solutions. They're the antics of a man desperate to stay relevant. Californians aren't asking for Twitter feuds. They're asking for safer streets, affordable homes, and a government that works for them. Newsom's online theatrics only highlight the gap between his polished image and the grim reality on the ground. It's like watching someone rearrange deck chairs on the Titanic while the ship sinks. The problems in California aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. They are real, human stories. Families are being priced out of their neighborhoods, with rent increases outpacing wage growth by 20% in major cities, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Small businesses, the backbone of any economy, are fleeing the state. Bed Bath & Beyond recently announced it won't open new stores in California, citing high taxes, crippling regulations, and unsustainable labor costs. This isn't just one company. It's a signal that California's economic climate is choking opportunity. And then there's public safety. From San Diego to Sacramento, residents are grappling with rising crime. Burglaries, carjackings, and assaults are becoming all too common. A 2024 PPIC survey found that 65% of Californians feel their communities are less safe than they were 5 years ago. Meanwhile, Newsom's response? Fundraising tours and campaign-style photo ops that do more for his national profile than for the people he serves. It's a pattern of self-interest that's hard to ignore and even harder to forgive. Contrast this with what's happening in Washington, where former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard is shaking things up. While Newsom tweets, Gabbard acts. She's taking on the deep state with a boldness that's rare in politics today. Her latest move? revoking 37 security clearances tied to an Obama-era intelligence report that fueled the Russia collusion narrative, a report that relied on the discredited Steele dossier and ignored standard protocols. According to a 2024 declassified report from the House Intelligence Committee, that narrative sowed discord and misled the public for years. Gabbard's actions are a direct challenge to the entrenched powers that have long operated without accountability. She's proving that leadership isn't about headlines or viral posts. It's about results. While Newsom's approval ratings plummet, Gabbard's decisive moves are earning her respect as a leader who gets things done, not just for optics but for the integrity of our institutions. Back in California, Newsom's leadership, or lack thereof, is raising questions about transparency and accountability. Take the issue of congressional redistricting. Decades ago, California voters stripped politicians of the power to draw district lines, handing it to a citizens' redistricting commission to keep things fair. But now, Newsom's allies are pushing to undo that, quietly maneuvering to hold a special election that would give Democrats more control over congressional maps. Assembly Elections Chair Gail Pellerin has dodged questions about who's really behind these efforts, but the governor's influence is clear. This isn't about better governance, it's about power. And when you combine that with policies like California's controversial approach to transgender issues, including laws allowing schools to withhold information from parents about their child's gender identity, it's no wonder trust is eroding. A 2025 PPIC poll found 58% of Californians believe the state is heading in the wrong direction. Newsom's focus on political games over practical solutions is a betrayal of that trust. The contrast between Newsom and Gabbard couldn't be clearer. One is mired in scandals and distractions, from questionable personal decisions to a social media strategy that feels more like a reality show than governance. The other is cutting through bureaucracy, holding the powerful accountable, and delivering results that matter. Newsom's wife recently made headlines with emotional comments on immigration, decrying family separations. But for many Californians, those words ring hollow when their governor ignores the rising cost of living, the crime creeping into their neighborhoods, and the businesses leaving for states like Texas, where taxes are lower and regulations don't strangle growth. Texas, by the way, allows mid-cycle redistricting with a simple legislative act, while California's process is deliberately more democratic. Yet Newsom seems more interested in bending those democratic rules than in addressing the state's urgent needs. Let's talk about those needs. California is a tinderbox, literally and figuratively. Wildfires have ravaged the state, destroying homes and livelihoods. Yet Newsom's response has been lackluster. With the highest income, sales, and gas taxes in the nation, you'd expect robust infrastructure to combat these disasters. Instead, PG&E's aging power grid and underfunded fire prevention programs leave communities vulnerable. A 2024 CalMatters investigation found that California's wildfire preparedness budget hasn't kept pace with the growing threat, despite Newsom's promises. And it's not just fires. The cost of living is driving people out. California lost more population than it gained for the first time in its history, with a net loss of over 700,000 residents between 2020 and 2024, per U.S. Census data. These aren't just numbers. They're families, dreams, and futures walking away from a state that's become unaffordable and unsafe. Newsom's ambition